Good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to show you this finished garden bed. So it's actually taken us a couple of months to sheet mulch it, and then we got distracted by work and chickens and fruit trees and everything else. But I wanted to show you, we have a couple of clips of when we started it, and then we'll show you what it actually looks like. We'll tell you all the plants that are in it and how amazing it is to make a garden bed with currants and strawberries, because that's really the way to do it. Also, if you could, please bear with me. I was just editing this video. I wanted to mention that I've had to take little clips from shorts and little nighttime footage and things like that. But I just wanted to show you basically the sheet mulching process and how we got the plants in. And it's been kind of a little bit difficult to record all that because these chickies take up a lot of my time. So here we'll get started, and I hope you enjoy the video. But we had all these under here last year, and that actually kept the grasses down. But this year they just got a little bit too wild and kind of starting to lose strawberries to all these different grasses and stuff. You can see they've done their very best to get up and over, but we have the grass isn't actually the biggest problem. The biggest problem is these lower branches are starting to cut off morning sun, which these strawberries were perfectly fine with just having morning sun last year. And then we also have this tree that is growing down. I forget, I mean, other people would probably watch the video and go, that's what that's called. Well, I don't remember what it's called. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually trim that back quite a ways, and then trim all these branches back. So here we are, just like that. I don't know how long that took. Approximately 2 minutes. There's a couple things. I'll just have to get some hand pruners, whatever in here. But we got all that free, which will further imbalance the trees. So I might end up trimming some more on the other side, but we'll do that a little bit later. You can see this one is from that giant leaf tree, elephant ear tree, whatever it is. We got new growth here, new growth here. So that actually made cutting these branches feel a lot better. We don't have to worry about trying to find a bud for it to leaf out. It's already got a couple. You can see this one's naturally just shot up. So I've gone through and I took out a couple more branches here on this side, and I may end up doing maybe one or two more just to really make it level. I'll probably reach up and trim some more. I wanted to show you real quick before I mowed the strawberries. We had them all in pots, but as you can see, some of them, as they leap out of their pot, they get to plant themselves, and that's through wood chips. It just fell down and planted itself. It's pretty cool. That's why we like the June bearing type, because this will go off, come a plant. This one get a plant. I might actually dig that up just to save it. But anyways, I got to at least mow. I'm gonna do that. So that was relatively easy. We just skirted the edge of this peach, and we also didn't mow down any raspberries. But it brings us to our next little job here. These raspberries would be okay in this kind of grasses, but we were thinking that everything would benefit if we used one of those little hand size. Just kind of grabbed handfuls and at least thinned out some of this grass. It's not going to be super straight and level. It's not going to be super well manicured, but like plants like that are fine. I just worry about some of these smaller ones, but we'll take all that. We'll just dump it right down on the wood chips that are already there, and it'll feed the plants we want to keep. So you can see we got raspberries that are really tucked in there, and they're doing fine. Just to give them a little easier life here. We'll take out some of the light competition. Might not look hugely different, but you can see some of the evidence here. Just trim up some of the grasses, throw it down as mulch. That'll help feed the neck. Oh my gosh, what is that? Hi, Neckle. That's so scary. Oh, you're trimming some grasses to mulch the raspberries too? You're so helpful. Oh my gosh, we should have just let you out here. We didn't have to do any work. Thanks, buddy. So moving on. This was semi-sheet mulch, but then we had all those strawberries in there, and that basically turned over the soil so quickly. So we might end up sheet mulching that again. I'm not quite sure, but I guess you'll find out in just a few seconds as I stare at the peach tree. So we got some of the sheet mulching done, really just starting. You can kind of see how we've double layered it. There's one box, another one. We just gotta make sure that these little slits are covered, and we want to get as much coverage as possible, but we're not going to worry about too much on the edges and things like that. We kind of expect some grasses to come back, but this is more of the coverage that we're looking for. Now that we've gotten all the wood chips down and it's been sitting for a couple of months, I want to show you just how deep the wood chips are. And this is on the edge, so in the center it's a little bit deeper, but you can still see not much cardboard left down there. So let's move on to how we got these strawberries out of the pots and into the ground. So we got a few ants in here, but this is where we're taking all of our strawberry plants from. We've left them in these fabric pots for a long time, so we have a lot of other plants that have started to grow in here. But all we're trying to do is just get the strawberry plant. We're not too worried about other plants coming with it, but we at least select out the strawberry. Look at that, 2 in 1. We just separate them and plant this bit and that bit. So this might be a little bit shocking to everybody watching, but we are not. Oh, there's a wormy. Well, hello, that's not the shocking part. Go back. So all we've done is we basically just pulled all the wood chips out and gotten to the dirt. And to make everything quicker, we're not even going to dig into the dirt, because we're going to let the strawberries and the roots work itself out. Just cover it back up. The mulch we have has a lot of different sticks in there, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But that's really all you need to do. We've already done it with a whole row of these. We're just going to continue on, make quick work of it, and we'll have ourselves a nice strawberry garden. So the strawberries along this row are a lot of what we're adding today while I'm filming right now. But that's not all that's in this garden space. We have a whole set and a whole ring of different raspberries. There's a bunch of yellow and red raspberries. There's a maple tree right here, and that ring continues all the way around, all the way to this beautiful peach tree. And if you were a bit shocked by how we planted those strawberries, I just want to show you that we did the same thing 3 days ago with a number of other strawberries, and they're doing just fine. So that's kind of proof of the wildness, the craziness. But all we did is we just moved these wood chips aside, got it to the dirt, and then piled it back on. And then with rains and all that, and the roots and the plants will figure it all out after that. And actually what we're looking at here is we have 2 different rows of red and then black currants up front. And those are all from cuttings that we had started this spring, and we have a couple of videos on that. You can see how well these have grown just from a little stick. Pretty incredible. So $1 a cutting, $1 a cutting, $1 a cutting, some pots, some soil from the backyard, and you can get yourself quite the... So for really relatively cheap, you can get quite the garden. So to give you a better understanding of how these strawberries grow, these June-berried strawberries, let me show you what it looks like in the pot and then after it's planted, so you can kind of see that it's not that important that we dig holes for these plants or anything like that, that they'll be just fine. So here's one of the many pots that we have, and we planted one June-bearing strawberry. And you can see it's already kind of splitting. If we were to pull this up, we'd be able to take handfuls and different plants, like root sets, and move them. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually plant this main plant, and then we're gonna let the rest of these runners grow it into the garden, and we're gonna bury them under wood chips, just like we did here. So here is a mother plant that we put right on top of the soil, buried it with wood chips, and then we take the runners, we just kind of stick it in right there. This one right here, same thing. It'll make its way into the soil. Natural processes, let the plant work, and it'll root. This one's probably already rooted. This one's already rooted, and it'll spread from there. The coolest thing is the only plant that we actually got touching soil was this. All these other ones that have rooted, it's just right under wood chips. It's like just under wood chips, keeping it down so it makes constant contact with a growing medium. That's it. So I'm going to attempt to count these, but it's going to be a rough estimate. So 1 plant, 2 plant, 3 plant, 4 plant, 5 plant, 6 plant, 7 plant, 8 plant, 9 plant, 10 plant, 11 plant, 12 plant, 13 plant. Okay, you get the idea. They just keep going on and on and on and on and on. Well, that one's even longer. Holy crap. So please, get some June-bearing strawberries, not the everbearing. The everbearing just stay in one place. You want June-bearing that spreads, at least if you want a garden like me. Here's another perfect example. So we planted a plant there, and then it came down, and we put a pot next to it, and it started growing more plants. And then it came all the way over here, and then just was happy with the rocks and the concrete and all that. This is exactly the medium that those other strawberry plants are growing in. Here's some more that made contact with the rocks earlier, and we're gonna split this up, probably separate the roots of this plant. Then we're just gonna split this up, catch all the runners, get those buried, and we'll be pretty good to go. But I think that's probably all we're gonna record today. We've still got some more work to do, but we've got to try and focus as much as we can before it gets too hot out. But the general idea is to try and circle this tree with as many strawberry bushes or strawberry plants as possible, maintain a pathway, and have all these strawberries on the edge. And just like I mentioned before, we have raspberries going through. There'll be a nice little walkway. All this stuff will kind of fill in. This will all kind of fill in. And then we'll have the 2 rows of currants right on the front there, along with our peach tree. And it'd be really nice if we could get these dug up and then just kind of fill that in with other bushes. That's why that one's still there, to kind of remind me. But we won't be digging that up today. It's just getting too hot out. We're trying to actually hide in the shade of this tree. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this video, and it's really amazing. I just wanted to show you how well those, not only the currants grow. I mean, the currants, you plant them just the same anyways. I guess you could try and dig those down a little bit, but they grow just as readily as strawberries. And these June-bearing strawberries are just amazing how much they multiply. The number one problem with them is you just have to thin them. You know, like take a quarter of the plants in a field out every year, and you'll keep producing. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.